bum 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 bum. It's a good video game music from back in the day. I believe that's Spy Hunter that I'm thinking of. You ever play Spy Hunter?
No, but that music that you're doing reminds me of a car racing game that we played on Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Do you remember what that was called?
No,
You think maybe it could have been Spy Hunter?
I don't think so. Was that a car racing game?
Sort of. It was overhead. You're looking at a track.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, well, episode 26 starts off with Naomi not knowing, but it could be Spy Hunter. We'll get to that later on. Your answers for your favorite arcade games back in the day coming up. It is episode 26. Of course, you know it's Luke and Naomi on air because you clicked on it.
I need a second to look this up because this is really going to bother me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
Because I know that music and I know it from a Super Nintendo game.
I'm pretty... It's Spy Hunter.
It's got to be.
It is. It is. If you really need to look it up, I'm sure I can ramble for a few minutes. But anyway.
All right.
Welcome to episode 26. We're excited.
We are. It's nice to be back.
We got another Under a Rock review for you coming up. That's what we're going to call them now. Naomi's Under a Rock reviews.
I like it. It works.
Because if you don't know, Naomi would always say, I've lived under a rock my whole life. And that's why
Because I have.
she hasn't seen any of the movies that we've all seen a bajillion times.
Correct.
So we're doing that. We got another one this week, E.T.
That's right.
She's gonna review E.T., so stay tuned for that one.
Did I like it? Did I love it? Did I hate it? Will I rip it apart? Who knows?
Who knows? We'll find out. So that's coming up in a few, but, as we usually do, start off with not a ton going on in our week.
No.
Happy Cowboys Victory Monday.
That's right. You've been able to say that so many times. You got to be feeling pretty good about that.
7 times this year. 7.
Congratulations.
Happy about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 40 burger on the Vikings yesterday.
Ah, yes.
But I'm more happy about the only letting up 3 points part.
Yeah.
Because the Vikings have been scoring. They not a ton, or they're not crazy or anything like that. But they have a decent offense, so it was good to shut them down. Plus,
yeah, I picked the Vikings, so that was pretty rough for me.
Plus, their quarterback, Kirk Cousins, he used to play for Washington, and so anybody who's ever played for Washington, I'm not a fan of.
Of course not.
Right, so there's that. So that's a lot of fun to beat up on him and stuff like that. So the one thing I am mad about that game, though, they cut out of the game like 10 minutes left in the third quarter.
Oh, because there was no point in watching anymore. It was a blowout.
Well, it's, third quarter. You never a comeback. And there's a lot of time there. There's a whole quarter and then a half. There's plenty of time. And I mean, they weren't up 40-3 at that point. It was still like 27-3.
But they knew what was going to happen. The world knew that the Cowboys were going to win. And so they're like, you know what? Here, watch this other game instead.
Here, watch a game that's close but boring as hell.
Well, most of the games were boring.
They really were. We got cut to Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, which normally, I'm here to watch. But when they flipped to that, I'm like, nope, it was just terrible. I would rather watch my Cowboys just dominate somebody. It's my favorite team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how that goes.
Yeah.
But so that was fun.
Yeah, your usual footballness.
And then while I was trying to watch that, Naomi kept putting Christmas lights in my hands and.
Well, I mean, you could have decorated earlier. Whose fault is that?
Both of ours.
We were supposed to decorate on Saturday, but after shopping and taking care of stuff, it just got late, and then I got lazy and was like, no.
Yeah.
So then it became a Sunday project, which means it became a Sunday project for Luke.
Yep, during football.
Well, again, you could have done it earlier. Then you wouldn't have to worry about, don't distract me from my Cowboys.
I could have, but I didn't. And
No.
neither did you.
No.
Anyway.
Story of our lives.
We got some Christmas decorations up, which is nice. No tree yet. Too early for the tree.
Well, next week. Next week is tree time.
Yeah, which is usually, the weekend after Thanksgiving is when we've gotten trees traditionally in the past.
Yeah.
Hoping to find a small enough Christmas tree for ourselves this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen. We're going to end up getting one way too big.
We always do.
It's just going to take up too much. Our apartment isn't huge, and
I wanted to get a palm tree.
That would have been cool.
Because I thought that would look so awesome. It'd be really easy to decorate and just be fun. But I'm having a hard time finding palm trees, and the only ones that I can find that are alive are like shipped here from somewhere else, and they're like $200. I'm not paying $200 just to decorate a palm tree for a month.
Yeah.
As much as I love the idea of that, $200 is a lot of money to waste on a stupid idea.
And everybody's probably thinking, why don't you just get, a fake one and all that stuff? And that's because we almost literally don't have any room for it. We would have to leave it up in another room.
Yeah, year round. Because there was no way that if we get an artificial tree that we have any place to put it.
On the ceiling, maybe, if we could rig up something to...
I don't know. I don't think you have enough room. The fan blades will hit it in like every single room. So there is not a lot of space in here.
So that's why we can't get a Christmas tree.
That's right.
A fake one.
Yeah.
A reusable one. Artificial. Artificial. That's what I'm trying to come up with.
Yeah, let's not go with reusable. That sounds weird.
It does sound weird, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll find out what happens.
Yeah.
And we'll undoubtedly post some pictures of our Christmas tree this year. And I'm hoping for a small one.
I'm hoping for a big one.
Smallest Christmas tree ever.
No.
But still a good Christmas tree.
No, we're not getting that small of one. It still has to be taller than me.
Desktop.
No. Absolutely not. That's not even a Christmas tree. That's a Christmas branch. We're not doing that.
Bush.
Yeah.
No. All right. We'll see what happens. I do want a tree though, because we didn't have one last year.
Yeah,
Moving
that was
and all that stuff.
Yeah, which made sense at the time, but was actually really sad to not have a Christmas tree last year. We even had presents to open up and things like that, but we put them in a pile. And we had some decorations up, which was nice, but losing that Christmas tree really was just weird.
What did we even hang the stockings over the pile, or it's
No.
so funny to just say it like that.
The stockings were hung on our pantry door.
That's right.
I didn't know that until I looked back at photos because I was trying to figure out how the heck did we decorate last year.
Yeah.
And they were on the pantry door. And I'm like, well, they're cute there when they're empty, but when there was actually stuff in there, it was just kind of weird.
Yeah.
But there wasn't much in there.
We don't wait to stuff the stockings. We're just like, I got to put this somewhere, so they go in there early.
Yep.
But so I had, you said that you saw a picture. I happened to be looking through photos, and it was literally a Dallas Cowboys Victory Monday photo that I put up.
Of course.
From last year around this time, and it had a little bit of our last year's Christmas decorations in them, and I was like, oh, I had completely forgot how we did everything.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange how you do that?
Yeah.
Unless you've been doing it for years in the same places and stuff like that. It just, year to year, we rarely do the same thing.
No. So it's always something new and fresh, and we're always confused. How did we do this the year before? Like every year, we don't remember.
Yeah.
So
if you can't
it kind
tell,
of works out.
We love decorating for Christmas, of course.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, so we got maybe 40% of it done.
Yeah, I would say that. We still have some lights to hang. I want to get some decorations in our hallway because you can't just do the living room area.
Yeah.
You got to have some decorations throughout the house.
Over.
Yes, exactly.
It'll spill over to the other rooms. I'm going to get the leg lamp up in the other room here, the room we're sitting in right now recording, so that'll be fun. I like that. Set it up where the neighbors can see it as they're walking by.
Absolutely. And
pulling into the parking spots and stuff like that. Oh, look, leg lamp. Yes. That's how I roll, of course. Some other big news. Well, some big news. Is it other? I guess decorating for Christmas isn't really that big news unless you're us.
Yeah.
But starting today, actually, on Monday, I'm back on the air. Luke Austin's back in the saddle.
Like legit radio waves.
Yeah, that's right. Radio waves.
Internet waves.
If you're in Wilmington, 103.7 FM, Sunny 103.7. More music, more variety. I could sing you the jingle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I really could, but I'm not going to get enough singing from me once an episode.
That's all we get.
But yeah, Sunny 103.7 is where I'm at.
That's right.
10 to 3 weekdays from now.
Very exciting.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy, very excited, very cool. Still doing the other stuff, but that's how radio goes. Here, wear 11 more hats.
Well, duh. Radio was the job of wearing all the hats.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But really, really, really cool. Really happy about the whole thing, and love the job, love the group, and all of that stuff.
Well, you've got some great people there with you, which is awesome. I don't even work there, and I love Luke's coworkers.
Yeah, right.
They're just awesome. They're good people, and it's nice to be surrounded by good people.
Yeah. So super happy. If you're not in the Wilmington area, you can get the Sunrise Radio app, or you can check us out sunny1037fm.com.
There you go.
And you can stream me live there weekdays 10 to 3. I'm really, really excited. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, boom. All right, moving on from there. It's another episode. We've been doing this right along. Some random facts to...
Get you through your week.
Yeah, get you through your week. I used to say to start your Monday, but, well, can't do that anymore, can I?
Well, you could. It just might not make sense to, 40% of people.
That's right. So here is your weekly dose of Did You Know? Did that right, huh?
You did.
Now
Now you effed it all
Just
up.
leaked all the confidence right now.
Gone. Boom.
Did you know Jimmy Carter was the first American president to be born in a hospital?
I did not know that. That's weird.
It is a thought that you haven't thought before, right? It's like a shower thought. How were you born before hospitals? Well, right in a log cabin, apparently. But this was 1924, so he was the first president to be born in a hospital.
Weird.
Insane.
I don't like that.
So my grandparents were born like 1917 and 19, something like that, around those times. So I wonder, is that just in the back room?
Possibly.
Go boil some water and get some towels.
What do you use the boiled water for?
I think it was just to keep the menfolk busy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I really don't know, but you used to see that on television all the time and things like that. We were just talking about
Go
this.
get some towels, I can see.
Yeah, get some towels and boil some water.
Yeah.
Why? Who the hell knows? Just go.
Tea to celebrate.
Just piss off and get out of our way so we can get this baby done. Oh, man. Okay, yeah. Jimmy Carter, first American president to be born in a hospital, 1924. Did you know 3 out of 4 female passengers on the Titanic survived?
Well, women and children first.
Right? So it worked. That's 3 times more than the average shipwreck.
Wow. That's crazy.
Because the women and children, it was like the first time they did that or something. I don't know, but it sounds like it.
I just think about this and realize, like, if you had this situation happening right now, like women and children first, like, it's not going to happen.
Oh, hell no.
There is no way.
Oh, hell no.
It would be every person for themselves. It would be worse than the Titanic, because part of the problem with the Titanic, too, was a lot of the lifeboats were going down without, like, them being full.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot more people died than should have.
Yeah, for sure.
But even at that case, like, nowadays, you'd have a whole bunch of lifeboats with just, like, 2 people. Just get out of my way. This is my boat. I'm out of here.
I got one. Cut the ropes off.
Exactly. That is exactly how that would go down.
That's for sure.
I don't want to get on this cruise anymore.
And you'd have people like me screaming, equality, equality, as I'm pushing little kids out the way to get on a lifeboat.
That is exactly what you would be doing.
You betcha.
Yeah.
That's terrible. We're just making fun of a tragedy. I don't care if it is 100 years old. That's crazy. All right.
Too soon?
I guess so. I don't know. It just feels weird. A whole bunch of people died. Ha ha ha. 17% of the male passengers survived the Titanic, which is half as many as the average shipwreck.
Crazy.
It is some weird numbers there.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
The Titanic. Did you know only 15 skyscrapers have ever held the title of world's tallest building?
Okay.
They are random.
It is pretty random. I don't even know how to feel about that one. Like, I guess I just don't care.
I didn't know that. Only 15 skyscrapers have ever held the title of world's tallest building. The current leader, of course, do you know what the current leader is?
Some building in Dubai.
Yes, that is correct. The Burj Khalifa. I think that's how you say it. Burj Khalifa in Dubai. It's 2,717 feet high.
Just why, though?
I guess to be the tallest. And it's been the tallest since it opened in 2010, but get this, it actually broke the world's tallest building record in 2008 while it was being built.
I can see that, sure.
Completed in 2009, officially opened in early 2010.
Yeah, I just don't see a point to it.
I would definitely go up to the top if we were to find ourselves in Dubai somehow.
I don't think I want to go to the top of that building.
For real?
No.
They probably got all the glass floor stuff and, all
then
that
I definitely don't want to go to the top of that.
You could go and film me freaking out on it. That'd be fun.
No, get a drone or something.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I would definitely check that out.
I'll see you at the bottom.
All right. See if you can catch a ball I throw off the top.
No.
Oh,
that's how you die.
You're thinking of a coin. A ball would be safe.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. All right.
My husband's trying to kill me. Do you guys hear this?
Oh, no.
My husband is trying to kill me.
Did
All
you,
right.
did you know the original idea for YouTube was a video dating website?
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Like and subscribe.
That's right.
That'd be weird.
Luke and Naomi. This is getting worse and worse. We better just stop.
Leave the keys in the bowl. All right.
My gosh.
And finally, did you know there's a habanada pepper? Have you ever heard of that? The habanada pepper?
No.
It tastes exactly like a habanero, but it has no heat.
Okay.
So there is actually some taste beyond just,
Burning.
burn.
Yes.
Beyond just burning. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a Scoville unit level of 0.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Habanada pepper. If you really, really dig the habanero flavor, but you just can't take the heat.
I guess.
That is your daily, weekly dose of Did You Know? Some random facts for listening to the podcast.
There you go.
I'll figure out a way to get out of that someday.
Yeah. Episode, 57.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Over under 57. I say over. Over the weekend, you saw some interesting news you got all excited about.
What's that?
The flight pass. I don't even know.
Oh.
All you can fly pass. That's what they're calling it.
Yes.
Frontier Airlines is selling an all you can fly pass. It's $5.99, $600. All you can fly. I mean, right off the bat, I'm like, this is one of those internet ads. I don't believe this at all.
Right. Yeah.
But,
It sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, you looked into it, right?
I did, and it's too good to be true.
Awesome.
Okay, so hear me out.
Okay.
This is a great idea if you can travel last minute and a lot of last minute trips.
So
this would work for
this
you.
Is probably good for, business and stuff like that, right? Business travelers and things like that.
I don't know. Oh, and the reason why I say that is because I am going to point out the worst thing on this, all the rules and terms and fees and fine print that they have.
All right.
I'm going to ruin it right away with the worst news.
Okay.
The worst news, flights can be booked and confirmed the day before flight departure.
That's it?
So you have to book the day before. So you can't plan anything. So if it's a business trip, I wouldn't be scheduling a meeting for a specific day because you might not be able to make it on that flight to get to that place.
Oh, right. Like if the flight's full.
Yeah, you're not getting on it.
Oh.
You
Wow.
can't
and it's
book
Frontier,
it.
too, so it's not like they, it's not like they're just bustling.
Yeah, but you can't book it until the day before.
Wow.
Of course, there's tons of blackout dates, which that's normally
Well,
what
of
you
course.
assume, is that there's tons of
I
blackout
imagine
dates.
Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's.
Yeah, all of that, Memorial Day and all the days surrounding it. It's like the whole week of the 4th of July. August
right, yeah.
31st, September 1st and 4th. A whole bunch of random days in October. Like basically half of December.
Yeah.
And January 1st and 15th. I'm not sure the 15th for. February 15th. Can't fly then either. Or the 16th or the 19th. I believe that's like midwinter break time. So
Yeah, right.
that.
Yeah. So all the times that you would buy this pass for,
Yeah.
you absolutely cannot use it for.
Not only that, but even if you could, you can't plan a trip because you might not make it on that flight.
Wow.
Because you have to book the day before. You can't book it very far in advance. Of course, you still have to pay taxes and fees and other charges. The fare is a penny for each time you book, which that's no big deal. You assume it's actually something even though it's unlimited. So you have to pay a
Yeah.
penny. Flights and seats are subject to availability. Last seat available is not guaranteed. What else was weird? Oh, flights do not include any add-on products like bags or seats.
Oh, okay. So you're still paying pretty much everything but the cheapest thing, which is the airfare.
Yeah, so if you worked remotely and didn't care and didn't have like kids and family and all that kind of stuff where you had to worry about anything and you could just like go, hey, I want to go to Alaska next week. Like you could do that. That would be great. It would work for you in that case.
That's so stupid.
Otherwise, I don't see it being a good idea.
That is so.
Oh, and it auto renews the following year unless you cancel it.
Nice.
I hate when things do that. That's so annoying. Do not auto renew something, especially a yearly membership that's so expensive. Don't do that.
I absolutely agree. That is a terrible thing too. I mean, nowadays they're cool enough to let you know, remind you a little bit here and there.
I
and
feel
stuff
like
that.
they wouldn't.
But this well, this thing you still have to pay taxes, fees, baggage. You said if you want to upgrade it all and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just a lot.
So wait, if there was like only first class seats available on the flight you wanted,
Yeah.
you would have to pay to upgrade, and you wouldn't be able to get like a first class seat.
I would assume that, yes.
Wow, that's
Because again, whenever there are deals, it's not to benefit you. It's to benefit any company. And that's true no matter what it is.
crazy.
Yes, we want to believe that somebody was looking out for us and wanted to give us a little bit of help, but that's not how the world works, All these sales and things like that, it's not to benefit you.
Yeah, for sure. Basically, they're just offering up like the unsold scrap seats on their flights then.
Yeah. If you can possibly get them,
If you're quick on the draw and you've already given them $600.
That's right.
Wow, that's
then you
insane.
can pay, $300 to go fly instead of $700.
That is that's definitely a crazy one there.
Yeah,
for sure.
it was a bummer because I started reading about this and I was like, oh, okay, and I started reading, I saw the blackout dates, and I'm like, honestly, that's not that bad. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of dates, but you can make plans around that. Oh, wait. No, you can't because you have to book it the night before.
And
Okay.
so then we'd each have to pay the $600. And what if we go there, we try to plan, well, let's hope there's seats available. I took the time off of work.
Mm-hmm.
We get there and there's only one seat open.
That, or you get somewhere and now you can't get back.
That too.
I mean, that's a little bit less worse, let's
too.
be honest. But
Like,
still,
a little bit
like,
less
hey, all of a sudden I can't get back to work because I can't get on a flight,
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Wow. Well, that's a trip, and that's a bummer too. 'Cause
It is a
It would be
bummer.
nice for airfare. Just continues to be the worst form of public transportation.
It really is.
I mean, the subway's dirty and smelly, and buses are crowded, but still, at least those are shorter trips and much cheaper.
well, it's the price.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, how expensive it is to fly, and it's like sometimes you're not even flying that far. You're just trying to save yourself from driving, 14 hours.
Right.
But I can't afford it because, airplanes are expensive.
That's right.
Whatever. I thought with like COVID and all that they were going to go down in price and then it was going to get like even easier to fly. And that was the rumors going around. And now I feel like it's even more expensive. Oh no, we have to make up the cost of everything we lost.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Here, pay us $600, and you can maybe fly
Maybe.
twice a year at a discount.
If you're lucky. But even at that discount, you still have to pay us $500 because you had a check bag or whatever.
Oh man. Okay, so speaking of now, I should have done these backwards. And now I want to make you think about traveling.
Well, now I'm kind of mad and don't want to go anywhere, but
know.
yes.
So you know what? I love my polls and surveys and all of that stuff. In a new poll, 70% of people say, well, let me put it this way: would you trade all the gifts and food and all that stuff during the holidays for a vacation?
Absolutely. As long as it's not one of those passes we just talked about.
As long as everything's planned out correctly and
Yes.
you know you can be able to get there and all that.
Yes.
Okay, in a new poll, 70% of people said they look forward all year to spending the holidays with their loved ones, and 67% say it's the highlight of the year.
Of course.
Of course it is, definitely. But if people were given the option of scrapping the traditional Christmas plans for a nice, relaxing vacation, 61% of people say
Yes.
they would.
Only 61% of people?
But what is a relaxing vacation? Because, the trip could still be a family vacation. So it's not about just abandoning, your family and friends and stuff like that.
I don't care either way. You can come with me or I can abandon you.
Can you-
Either way, I will take a trip for Christmas every year. That would be amazing.
Can you imagine the wedding every year on a beach again? Somewhere like just doing that every year
Yeah.
at Christmas time and then trying to organize
Absolutely.
everybody's presents and stuff like that?
Not organizing the presents.
Just, now we're going to have Christmas dinner at this time, and there's 90 of us.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I feel like you wouldn't you would have to abandon the family and friends to have a relaxing vacation.
Sure.
I mean, we have our friends who have decided between the three of them, the parents and the one kid, that, we're just going to, what do they travel every year, right?
I believe so. They all, pick a few locations that they want to go to, and then they decide together or draw it or something like that to find out where they're actually going. But instead of buying a whole bunch of gifts and things like that, where it's like, hey, a nice new pair of shoes, that's awesome, but it's, it'll wear out, and then it's just like nothing.
Yeah, right.
Compared to a memory that you're going to have, and, the experience of especially traveling somewhere new,
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's so valuable, and I would rather do that than get a bunch of gifts every year, because I'm, I don't usually ask for a lot for Christmas, so a trip would be definitely worth it for me.
Now, with the trips, though, that's still, itineraries, sort of. We don't necessarily do that, but, crowds, trying to get around unfamiliar areas and stuff.
Sure.
All still
Absolutely.
good for you, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Even if it got a little stressful, it's a different kind of holiday stress. Traveling
different
holiday stress.
That is exactly what the people who said that they would travel instead of doing the traditional Christmas said. It's more about dodging the usual stresses of the holiday season and finding, basically different stresses. Celebrating in a fresh, new way is the way that they put it. But, still, just trading stress for unfamiliar stress.
Yeah.
That seems like fun.
But it does. Traveling is fun.
It
I will
absolutely
take
is. I'm
those
kidding.
stresses,
It really is. I'm with you there. We might have to think about that.
And especially during that time of the year, you usually have time off from work anyways.
Right.
So it's an easy, great time to travel. I take that back. It is not an easy
Not
or
an
great
easy
time
It's
to
easy
travel.
time to get away.
Yeah, traveling during the holidays, I get, is still very stressful and all that. But when you're traveling for a vacation, I feel like you're not so rushed to meet deadlines and get to grandma's house by a specific time and all of that kind of stuff, that it's a little bit different. Yeah, I get that it's still, can be difficult to travel during those times. But even if you didn't end up traveling for the holidays, even if you just took that time and that money that you've saved and throw it to a vacation, coming up at the end of January or something. There's plenty of options.
That's a good idea. I like that. Not a bad idea at all.
Might be a new tradition for us coming up next year.
Something we could definitely look into thinking about. How about that? Speaking of traditions, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade coming up. Have you ever sat and watched that?
Not the whole thing.
But it's something that you've put on before.
I've had on the background, yeah, of course.
My Thanksgivings have usually involved getting up late, turning on football, and that's it.
And making turkey.
Until food.
Yeah.
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 So football and food generally. So I haven't watched a ton of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but I have seen, enough of it and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
that's one of those things, too, where I've seen it on episodes of television.
Right.
Probably more than I've watched the actual parade and stuff like that. But found a cool list about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade since it's coming up in a couple of days here. Hopefully you're listening to this before the parade so you can watch for some of this stuff happening. Now, some of these a little crazy, but I have 13 times the parade went wrong.
Oh,
No,
interesting.
A couple of people got hurt here, so I don't want that to happen. But
yeah,
it's
definitely
always
not.
it's always fun when something crazy goes. Like let's see, I think the biggest thing was when Mighty Mouse the balloon went down, 1956. It hit a street sign and crumpled all the way down to the ground.
Wow.
And I can't imagine what that had to be. A scary looking balloon. You've seen old Halloween costumes,
Oh
right?
yeah.
The old
and
Easter
it's
bunny.
creepy and it's weird
Yep.
and it's like no wonder so many people had nightmares and all that.
Yeah, so that was probably traumatizing for some kids there at that point, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
In 1985, Superman lost an arm. One of his arms snagged on a tree branch and was torn right off.
Law.
Yeah. Not so Man of Steel, huh?
Yeah. Unless there was kryptonite in that tree branch.
In 1991, Good pull.
Thanks.
1991, Kermit the Frog balloon hit a tree, causing his head to become partially deflated.
Oh, that's weird. I bet you that freaked out a lot of people.
Well, it looked like he was just staring down at the street, and one of the commentators even said, "Today, Kermit's just a little bit sad."
Aww.
That's great. Let's see. The Cat in the Hat actually put a woman in a coma.
Oh, my goodness.
1997, it was windy. Cat in the Hat hit a lamppost, which fell over and fractured a woman's skull. She was in a coma for a month.
Oh, my goodness.
Not funny. That's crazy. I don't want to see anything like that happen. Barney got ripped apart. Yeah, I know, right? Everybody just turned on Barney. The same wind that caused the Cat in the Hat accident tore Barney, the dinosaur, apart. He had to be deflated and completely removed from the parade.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. That was 97. Okay. Let's see. In 2005, an M&M gave a woman stitches. An M&M balloon snagged a pole in Times Square, then hit a street light. Broken parts from the light hit and injured two sisters. One of them needed stitches in the back of the head.
Wow.
And then, of course, this is the good stuff. If this happens this year, this will be fun. Scotty McCreery got caught fake singing in 2011.
All right.
He missed his cue and started singing after the song had already begun. I mean, we all pretty much know that when they're on the floats and stuff, they're lip syncing because all that. But it doesn't mean that it ain't fun to watch them get caught.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, Scotty McCreery 2011. So we'll see lip syncing one. That would be fun to see that. I don't want anybody to get hurt again.
Of course not.
Come off like that. But so just some
we
crazy
know you're
stuff.
mean. You're not that mean though.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Just some crazy stuff that has happened during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I wanted to throw a saint in there.
Macy's
Yeah.
Saint Thanksgiving?
Like every time I've said it, I don't know if you've noticed.
Where are you trying to put the saint?
I do not know. Macy's Saint. See, that's what I was trying to avoid the whole time.
Well, I was getting it out of you sooner or later. So.
All right, we owe everybody some answers from the last question we asked him.
Yes.
Let's see what we got here. Some cool comments.
Oh, I was supposed to look up whatever we were talking about at the beginning of this show.
Yeah, that's right. Spy Hunter.
Okay, yeah, you talk amongst yourselves.
All right, will do.
It's what you usually tell me to do, but I don't have like anything in front of me, like a computer with answers and all that. All right, what was the name of the game? Spy Hunter?
That's correct. All right,
I really don't think this is what it is.
Brian from England, I said I teased his answers last week. Told everybody that we were going to wait for this week to talk about his answers. If you remember, he wants Naomi to watch and review Working Girl from the late 80s or early 90s or whenever that was.
That's right.
And so Brian says, as for arcade games, he was fascinated with Space Harrier, which I forgot to look up. I wanted to Google that and see if I could, if it looks familiar, maybe had a different name over here.
Should we pause this for a second so you can look it up?
I'll do that later. And around the mid-90s, he said, listen to this. He says, he used to go up to London on the weekends and visit Sega World. He says it was...
No way.
Yeah. He says it was massive. And they had a multiple-seat setup of Daytona, USA, so you could race all your friends. He says, and he loved Sonic the Hedgehog, too.
Wow.
So that's fantastic. Let's see. I love that answer. Sega World. I'm trying to think if we had anything close to that. Even close. I don't think so.
No.
The mall arcade would be like but that wasn't big at all. It just had maybe like a 4-seat setup of Daytona, maybe. I know I definitely played that. I know I definitely have seen that one. So good ones, Brian. Nice pull. Nice pull. I like it. All right, let's see what else we got. Brandon Epler says the Jurassic Park took all my money. He says it looks. The picture he shared says it looks more like a more modern one than he played in the late 90s. And it was at their local pizza factory.
Local pizza factory?
Pizza factory.
That's awesome.
It is awesome, right?
That's awesome.
Speaking of awesome, El Weevo says Galaga hands down. And he says that...
Oh my gosh! Yes! That's that like white face looking spaceship thing, right?
Yes. Face looking spaceship.
Well, it would like suck you up.
Nailed
when
it.
it start yelling.
When it would start yelling at you, yes. Galaga, hands down, he says, and he played it at Pizza Hut.
Nice.
He says, I can call it an arcade if I want to.
Yes, Pizza Hut had arcade games.
Pizza Place video games are definitely great answers. I love that.
I completely forgot about that game. I wasted so much of my life on that game and was so bad at it.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Dallas says WrestleFest at Aladdin's Castle.
Really?
Yeah, that's Aladdin's Castle. Sounds fun. WrestleFest. I hated that because I could never get just the timing right to match the computer and get the moves in.
Ah, okay.
I was always too early or too late, so I could never get the moves down. But that is a good poll, too. Dorsey says skee ball at Marty's Playland in Ocean City.
Skee ball.
Skee
I am
ball.
here for skee ball.
It's a
That
great
was
poll.
one of my favorites.
Hell yes.
I wasn't very good at it, but I loved it.
I will still, if we go to a place that has like a big arcade, I generally will go and play a round or two of skee ball
You
just
have
because.
to. You have to.
Always play
It's a
skee. My
classic.
dad loved skee ball. It was always, always high on the list when we saw an arcade. Definitely. Good poll.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. And Juan says Street Fighter.
All right.
Says wasn't much of an arcade. It was all-in-one food building in Mexico. He says we only knew it as the owner's name, whatever the place was.
Huh. Okay.
But Street Fighter, Juan, is a great answer. That stand-up was so legendary that I remember it was in the news when they made a version for the home consoles.
Right.
I think it was Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. They made the game for those, and Sega actually released a special controller
Oh, nice.
with more buttons so that you
Yeah.
could play Street Fighter because you needed a couple extra buttons or something like that. That was huge.
Wow.
Huge, absolutely huge. So, good pull on the Street Fighter. I love it, Juan. Right on.
Yeah, skee ball was again a big one for me. Always skee ball. And I don't think I ever played this in an arcade, but I would assume that this is a game you could play in an arcade that I loved playing when it was, on Super Nintendo or whatever. Was Joust.
Joust. Wow.
Where you're like on the ostriches
Yeah.
and you gotta like run into each other. Yeah. That game was so awesome.
Joust was one they would throw into like Nick Arcade, the kids game show way back in the day. When
Really?
Yeah. Nick Arcade. They would make the kids play Joust.
I loved that game.
Crazy. I only
It was
got my hands
so
on that
dumb,
once or twice. 'Cause
but it was
so dumb.
great. Yeah. I'd play it for hours and just get done and just be like, what the heck did I do for the last 5 hours of my
Joust.
life?
That's great. Then
Yeah.
there's some classic arcade games too. I mean, too many to even mention. The Ninja Turtles one was awesome. The Simpsons arcade game was fantastic. And my favorite, I go to Spy Hunter a lot. I keep saying it. I've talked about it a whole bunch. And that was definitely a very nostalgic pick. It was a super fun game and one of my favorites. But I have to say, my favorite arcade game from, going to an arcade and playing was Cruisin' World.
Cruisin' World?
Or Cruisin' USA, whatever version they had of it.
I don't know what that is.
It was a sit-down arcade racer where you got in and had the wheel and the pedals and all of that stuff. But it was really goofy and sort of cartoonish, and you could do tricks with the car when you went over jumps.
Okay.
And it would get you gain speed and stuff like that. And
Sounds fun.
yeah, the races were all over. There was different. There was Cruisin' World, there was Cruisin' USA, and at my local bowling alley, because Pop's Arcade went away well before I became a teenager. And then
Aw.
in my teen years, you go to the bowling alley, they had a bunch of video games. Cruisin' World or USA, whichever one it was huge. There were lines to play that thing. And it was one of those where, you better get good so you can keep playing.
Right, because you don't want to get to the back of that line.
Yeah, just like it was, always in arcades and stuff like that. So that was my last, pretty much, the last arcade game that it was like that line. You had to get good. When you won a map and got to play again, everybody's like, whoa!
Come on, I want my turn.
Yeah. So the Cruisin' series, World or USA, whichever one, they were both awesome. So that was a lot of fun.
So I've been looking up Spy Hunter for a couple of minutes here, and I'm pretty sure this is not the game
Okay.
that I'm thinking of on Super Nintendo that had the same, tone music that you were
Well, again,
humming
it
along
was
to
just
earlier.
me humming some music. So, it
Yeah,
probably didn't
but
sound anything even like Spy Hunter. So,
But it I don't know. When you hear something certain or smell something certain, but you can't place it, and it drives you crazy.
Oh, yeah, for
Because
sure.
you can, it's there. If I just get enough time, I can remember what that game was. That was some car racing game, and just had that same tone. And now I have to hear that music, it's going to drive me nuts.
We'll look it up afterwards for sure.
Yeah, we have to.
And I'm telling you what, if I probably can't find a royalty-free Spy Hunter sound, but if I can, I'll dump it onto the front of the episode
There
for sure.
you go.
Because I would love to. If I can, I'll look for it. I promise. I will. So, all right. Some good answers. A good, nice little trip down video game memory lane for sure. And looking at the picture, you'll see you can still leave your answers if you haven't left one. Luke and Naomi on air on Facebook. You see the row of the video games consoles, and it's like, oh man, I would love to do an old school arcade like that.
Oh my goodness, it just makes me want to play a bunch of games now.
Yeah, absolutely. Just run through and I would love to do an arcade like that, but only if they're all $1 each.
Right? Oh, I bet you it's up to like $2 now.
I don't even want to spoil the memory of the video games in the arcades with the prices.
Wait, we've got a local place. We have a brewery that has an arcade that we need to go check out.
Yeah.
But now I'm scared too that it's not going to have the arcade games that I want, and it's going to be very expensive for the arcade games that are there.
I'm pretty sure they got skee ball.
They have to. Like everybody has it. I mean, even if it's fake, just put some little Pringles cans in a ball. Like that's all you need. A little ramp.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. Done. Yeah. Skee ball. Definitely a good pull. Would you like to pick your favorite?
Oh, my favorite answer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Roar, that thingy.
Galaga. Go with El Weevo. All right.
Galaga. I was going to say Gallagher, and I'm like, no, that's not the name of it. I don't like my I did it better the first time.
Right on, El Weevo. And he says, I can call Pizza Hut an arcade if I want to. Yes, you can, because I would. That's right. We had Brian's Roast Beef Deli back in the day that was had like Pac-Man tables, and I believe it had a stand-up or two.
There you go.
So yeah,
that's all you need. It's an arcade.
That's right.
If you have an arcade game, you're an arcade.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if it's just one.
All right, that was our topic for the last time.
Yeah, and congratulations to El Weevo to be listener of the week.
There you go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've only given away like 2 of those.
Yeah. We're working on it.
Yeah,
we're working on it. We'll get there. No topic for next week, though. We are actually going to be doing a little bit of traveling, so we won't be around to record next week.
Out of town.
But we will be back for whatever that next episode. 27. That'll be what we'll do when we get back. And we'll post on Facebook all about, that.
Yeah.
Or we won't. Who the hell knows? We'll find out.
We're going to try to, but you can't count on us for anything.
I've been working on it, man. I've been working on it.
We're terrible.
All right. It is time for the fun stuff, though. I've been looking forward to this. We've just been rambling and
we have.
Push this off. It's a good conversation. I like talking to you.
Aww.
Well, it's time for the Under a Rock reviews.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm better get my stuff together over here.
If for some reason you missed it at the beginning of the show, we were talking that's what we're going to call them, Naomi's Under a Rock reviews, because she always said she lived under a rock, and that's why she hadn't seen so many of the great movies that we all know and love.
The movies that everybody knows that I've never watched, yeah.
Absolutely. So we've got access to a ton of them now with all kinds of streaming and stuff like that, and we also have a poster of the 100 bucket list movies you need to see, so occasionally we'll consult that poster.
Which we did this time.
We'll watch a movie, and Naomi will review it. So without further ado, let's talk about E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial.
That's
1981, if I'm not mistaken.
81. Okay, I was wondering when it was, because I'm like, this can't be like late 80s. This has to be early 80s.
I do believe 1981. I will look to confirm, but...
okay.
Well, let's see. What do we got?
For starters, let me just say, I know the whole E.T. phone home kind of thing. I've seen
82.
Seen enough of it being, parodied and
of
all of that kind of stuff. I knew Drew Barrymore was in it. She was adorable too, by the way.
She was, right?
She was more adorable than I thought she was going to be in there. Which
is weird, because I believe like 2 or 3 days before we had watched The Wedding Singer.
We did.
And Drew Barrymore is in that as an adult and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of strange to, go back in time, I guess.
Yeah. Well, at least we were watching like Firestarter or something
You're
like
right.
that, So first off the bat, it jumps right into the story right away, which I didn't see that happening.
Oh, no?
I thought, hey, we're going to learn about the kids for a little while, then the spaceship is going to crash or whatever, and then here comes E.T.
Yeah.
But no, it's like right off the bat, alien making crazy noises, which, by the way, I was not a fan of. Like, those noises were just awful.
Yeah, a little bit.
Almost like gross noises when he would like snort and stuff. Like you said a pug trying to breathe at one point.
Sounded like a pug breathing.
And that's what it sounded like. And then
it's kind of gross.
Yes, at some points it was very hard for me to handle that. And I feel bad saying that after I tried to make that alien noise from the arcade game just a second ago, because I'm pretty sure that was hard to hear too.
Nice.
Hard to listen to. Okay, so overall, the movie was cute. It was okay, It's not one that I really care to watch again.
All right.
If it's on TV, I think I'll still change it. Maybe it's something I needed to grow up with. I liked a lot of the little details in the movie, like when the flowers come back to life, and then the flowers were like dying when E.T. was sick, and then they came back to life. I actually thought E.T. was going to die. I thought it was going to be kind of a sad... It's an 80s movie. You never know which way it's going to go.
For real.
So I thought that part was believable. I thought he was dead, and, the kids are going to go back to, being kids and what it was like, before E.T. came and all that. So I was surprised that it was a happy ending. Still glad that it was a happy ending, too. So,
There's a lot of old stuff in it. It is 1982. So similar to how we were talking about The Shining, there's, I don't know that is there smoking in this movie too? I'm sure there is.
Yes. At one point
It's almost like they had to.
Yeah. At one point they're sitting at a table and they're playing like Dungeons and Dragons right in the beginning.
Yeah.
And there's smoke coming up from the table, which I'm assuming there's an ashtray there. But they were all kids sitting around, so I'm like, who's smoking?
Wasn't it the mom and the three
I'm
kids?
guessing because the mom is like in the other room or in the kitchen or whatever and comes out. And speaking of that, I have to say, who the heck decorated or designed their house? Because their like light over their like kitchen table was like what you would find in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Or a bar.
The hanging down light that was really close to the table.
Really close to the table, and like that like fake stained glass stuff that you would find at like Red Lobster.
Oh, that's just the 70s and 80s. I'm
no,
telling you.
They got that out of a restaurant. Like and then they're sitting in like a bench booth seat.
That was weird, right?
So they got it out of a restaurant. Who designed that? Because that was ridiculous.
And it's a weird I'm trying to come up with it. It's a weird triangle. The shape of their table and booth and
it is a booth that came out of a restaurant. I stand by my statement.
I'm telling you, that is just weird 70s and 80s architecture.
So, speaking of things that, like details and all that were done right, when NASA showed up.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, the guy, coming in the house didn't need to be wearing a spacesuit. Like, come on, man. Anyway.
Full-on spacesuit and just landed.
Yeah, like for real. From Texas, from like whatever. But when they're doing like more of the medical side of things with ET and he's dying and all this, and they're using the like medical jargon and all that, like that seemed pretty advanced for early 80s.
Okay.
So I thought they did really good with that. Nowadays, yeah, of course, it doesn't stand up to anything.
Right.
But for a movie back then, I thought it was really well done. It looked scientific. It looked advanced and all that. So I thought that was well done. Again, it's a cute movie. It really is. I don't need to see it again.
All right. So did you like it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I liked it. It was a cute movie. I liked it.
So she liked it. Probably not going to watch again.
No.
Probably not going to leave it on if it's on TV.
No.
And I forgot.
I don't need to see it again.
There's one more.
Would I recommend it?
Yeah.
Maybe to a child.
There you
go. This is. But even at that, I feel like kids these days, like the graphics of the alien.
Yeah, depending on the age of it, you have to show like a 6 to 9 year old. You get much older than that, and they're not going to sit through.
Because he kind of looked like a worm with his neck. So I don't think that's going to go over a
Now,
lot.
did you know what E.T. himself looked like before this?
No. Actually, no.
All right.
I know, like, the long fingers.
Yeah, you've
The
probably seen
glowing
that enough
finger.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and yep, and all of that. So you had no idea. So it was a little bit of a surprise when you finally got to see him.
It was.
Were you surprised at how much they showed him? Because I feel like nowadays they don't show your weird alien in a movie like that.
Yeah, because if it looks weird, it's just going to ruin the movie.
Yeah.
You're not going to pay attention to the actual story part of the movie. That is actually a good point, because one thing I did notice, especially in the beginning of the movie, is a lot of times when it was E.T. around, it was dark.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, are they going to do this for the whole thing so you don't really see?
And then you do.
And then you do, yeah. So, yeah, I guess I was a little surprised how they ended up doing that.
So did you know, you've seen, of course, the parodies of E.T. Phone Home and all of
Yeah.
that stuff. Did you know, like, what was behind all of that, or does it now make
No.
a ton of sense?
It makes a ton of sense. I had no idea that he was trying to... Well, I guess I knew that he was trying to phone home,
Right.
but I didn't know how that all came into
You
play.
didn't know probably why.
Right. I guessed that an alien crashed on our planet. And then, okay, he's going to have to try to call and get help,
So
basically.
I think there's one or two more, like, famous things from the whole deal. The glowy finger thing. Did you know what that was all about?
No, had no idea.
So that's, the healing touch and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The flying bicycles.
Yeah, so I thought that only happened once over the moon.
Right.
I had no idea that it happened, twice?
Yeah.
But he takes, like, all the kids flying with
Yeah.
the bicycle,
Because for some reason they needed an army of teenagers on bicycles to run away from the police.
Hey, whatever you got to do,
But
I
if
guess.
you only had one, you might could lose them a little bit quicker.
Maybe,
But
maybe.
I thought that is a great, like, trope of the 80s and 70s and stuff like that, where it's just an army of teens will help evade the police.
Yep, absolutely.
We'll confustigate them so much that they will stop chasing us.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
love that.
Yeah.
So now that became the logo, of course, and riding across the moon for Amblin Entertainment,
Yeah.
and that's where you've seen that over and over again at the beginning of movies. And
So,
stuff like that.
and I do have to say, the first time he's flying, he's not wearing that red. The kid Elliot, it doesn't have the red hoodie on.
Right.
So I was a little confused. I'm like, wait a minute here. This isn't how, I've seen it done a whole bunch of times.
Yeah. Right.
And then it's the second time where he's got the red hoodie on. And as soon as he had that red hoodie on and they're running around, I'm like, oh, he's going flying again. Like, I knew that was coming up. It was
flying
going,
again.
yeah, it was going to happen. Because he had the red hoodie and you just knew. You just knew.
You just knew.
Yeah.
And so, just a quick aside, we're talking about the logo, that's Amblin Entertainment and all
Yeah.
that stuff. At one point, we were watching the movie, and yes, I had another TV on with the football game on last night.
Of course.
And I happened to look over, and they were in commercial, and I'm telling you, there was a commercial for something from Amblin Entertainment, and I saw the logo. I'm like, oh,
I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
wouldn't be surprised,
So then, I guess basically the rest of it, the saying goodbye and all of that stuff. I feel like you've probably, if you thought about it, seen that scene parodied about 1,000 times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you liked it. That was a nice little wrap up and all of that for you.
Yeah. The way it ended was great. Like I said, I really believed that, E.T. was going to die, which you fooled me, like it's surprising to me because a lot of times you watch a movie and you go, no, it's not over, it'll have the happy ending kind of thing. And
Right.
I didn't know that that's what was going to happen. So it was kind of cool that it helped, keep you entertained, like, oh no, this is really, this is sad, the kid lost his friend and all that. And it kept you wondering what's going to happen next. I did like some of the goofiness of it too. Like especially right after you found out that E.T.'s not dead and he just starts getting all weird about,
Phone home.
Yes.
The kid goes from, I love you to
Shut up. Yes. And it's just so
that is
funny.
hilarious.
because it's so goofy, you know?
It is. That's a good poll. I like that.
A little cheesy and all that, but it was goofy and it was funny, you know? So that was great. Now I understand the whole Reese's Pieces thing, too.
There you go.
I forgot about that. That was a big part of it, and that's been parodied everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Fun fact about that, it was either M&M's or Skittles. Turned them down. Said, no, you can't use our I'm pretty sure it was M&M's. And they're like, no, you can't use us in the movie.
Really?
It's like, okay, well, we're going to make Reese's Pieces famous then.
And they did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, again, overall, okay movie. I'm too old for it now, I guess. I don't need to see it anymore.
Sure.
If I saw it as a kid, it might, be like, oh, I want to watch that again, kind of thing.
I saw it as a kid and then, saw it a bunch of times as a kid. Now as an adult, it's like, oh, yeah, I saw that as a kid.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Something you liked about it that surprised you.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Just the fact that I liked it.
Okay.
I really went into this thinking, this is got to be like the corniest, worst movie that I'm going to watch. And it wasn't. So I guess that's a good thing.
All right. And anything that you really just did not like about it?
Just the noise the alien made. Jeez. Like, I'm glad he learned to talk fast, If we had to go through the entire movie of his screaming and weird breathing.
I love it. It's just hilarious.
No.
Favorite part?
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of put me on the spot here.
Yeah, I know. You think we should have planned a little bit better?
Oh, maybe for this.
Okay.
Yeah. Favorite part? Yeah, I don't know.
My favorite part is what we were just talking about, where he just goes bananas after he comes back to life, and he's in the little box.
Of course it
thing.
is.
Oh, it's just, again, the kid goes from, I don't know what to do with myself now, I can't feel anything anymore.
Yeah.
And then,
he does get really dramatic.
Just-
Can we just mention that? The kid does get very, very dramatic. I get that he lost a friend, but you knew him for like a week.
Well, he was
that.
feeling the same things as the thing for a little while.
I guess that's true.
There was that
Connection.
sort of psychic connection there.
Yeah.
Which, that's another good part. E.T. just gets loaded, and the kid ends up
Yes!
drunk in school.
Can I say that
I forgot about
the
that part.
acting from that kid was phenomenal for
Yeah,
that.
He was pretty good.
Because I didn't know that they were connected. I didn't understand that part of it. And then I knew that they were connected because the kid was getting drunk. That he was acting like it. When he turned and looked at that girl and smiled that drunk smile, I almost died. I was like, that is exactly what a drunk person would do and how they would smile at someone. Like, it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
So, that kid was a great actor.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. All right. Anything else you want to add about it? Anything you forgot?
No, I think I covered it as well as I could.
All right. So definitely not going to be one of Naomi's favorites ever, but you're definitely glad you watched it.
I am glad I watched it. Again, glad to understand the references and all that. And just glad I watched it because I feel like you have to see that movie. But I don't need to see it again. One and done.
All right. If you haven't seen E.T. in a while, go check it out. It's actually streaming on Peacock right now.
There you go.
All right. That's Naomi's Under a Rock review of E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial. Stay tuned for next week. We don't have a movie picked out yet. We like flying by the seat of our pants if you haven't figured that out.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely let you know. Stay tuned because we're going to make this a regular thing on Luke and Naomi on air.
I'm trying to mix it up from going from, like a comedy to more of like a kid's movie type deal. We'll get some serious ones in there.
Yeah, we've got a couple of really, I don't want to say heavy, but we've got some serious dramas to get to. We were throwing around Good Will Hunting, Saving Private Ryan, and as we name off some of these things, you're going to go, I cannot believe she hasn't seen that movie. That is the whole point.
The Green Mile.
The Green Mile. That is the whole point of, the Under a Rock reviews. We're finally getting Naomi to watch these movies and get her thoughts on them. So definitely stay tuned to the next episodes of Luke and Naomi on air because we're going to have more of these. And we're going to get our shit together, too, so we'll be a little bit more tight with these reviews, too. It'll be fun.
We'll try to anyways.
Yeah.
You know us.
Yeah. So that's about it. You're going to make me sing, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think you should sing.
All right. Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day, thought of the day.
Such a beautiful song.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm on a Christmas kick. I think
right.
last week and maybe the week before I did Christmas themed thought of the days.
Yeah.
So this is that, but just not serious. So, despite being red and green, watermelons are never associated with Christmas.
Oh,
Like, why not?
we got to change that.
Yeah, you go for it.
Watermelons, Christmas by the sea. I'm here for it.
All of it.
Let's do it.
All right. Luke, you gonna leave us with a laugh?
I am going to do my best. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Here's one for your new job. How many ants does it take to fill an apartment?
I don't know.
10 ants.
It's stupid.
It's more of a visual joke, but tenants. 10 ants.
I get it. No, I get it.
Oh, all right.
It's just real
I
bad.
was waiting for you to laugh.
No.
I didn't know you got it.
No.
Okay. I bought a new pair of gloves today, but they're both lefts, which on one hand is great, but on the other it's just not right.
That's terrible. It just kept going. You
All
could have
right.
stopped that joke on like the first sentence.
I know. That's what's so great about it. So many people these days can be so damn judgmental. I can tell just by looking at them.
Of course you can. Wow. Should feel bad for that last one. Thank goodness.
All right. That wraps up episode, what is this, 26?
Yes.
All right, 26.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 2 weeks with episode 27. Don't forget, you can still comment. Let us know what your favorite arcade game was from back in the day. Luke and Naomi on air on the Facebook page. Catch up on all our episodes on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or what's the other thing? Spotify.
That's right.
YouTube.
There too.
We will definitely take suggestions on what movies Naomi should review because
Yeah, absolutely.
we have a list of 100 of them, but there's still more that she hasn't seen, I imagine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There is so many that I need to get to, between like regular references to understand to just all around good movies that, you know, normal people have seen a lifetime ago.
That's
So.
right. So stay tuned for the next Under a Rock review on episode 27 of
That's
Luke
right.
and Naomi on air. We will talk to you then. In the meantime, have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.